All right, I got the thumbs up from Eddie. So we start a new week. It is Monday, right in your face, Al. What's up?
Oh, hi there, Jerry. So this weekend, I went to this place in Long Branch, New Jersey. It's called the Whitechapel Projects,
Okay.
and it's a restaurant, and it's like a very small venue.
Okay.
But they had something interesting there. It was uh, classical musicians playing the songs of Queen,
Hmm.
and you're there, and it's all candles. It's like a whole bunch of candles on the floor, and then these musicians. It was 4 people. It was, 2 violins, a viola, and a cello.
Nice.
All right. So, it was cool because it was, Queen songs done
It's
classically. It
also
was
different,
Yeah, it was
which is
different.
neat.
There's a seat to be had. The show started at 6 PM.
So this is a dinner and a show type of
Yeah,
deal.
dinner.
So
You
show
don't have to
started
do the dinner part.
6. Oh, you don't?
You don't have to, but we did
Interesting.
this Friday, so I
Okay.
had dinner at 4,
Oh, God.
and then the show
So
was at 6.
you did dinner somewhere else and went there for the show at 6.
We actually did dinner there. You can do dinner there, but you
No.
don't have to do dinner
Okay.
there. But I thought, oh, let's give that a shot. I'll do dinner there. So it's nice. I don't know how many people they can jam into this place. It was a very reasonable amount of people, but it was a regular ticket price. Now, Gina bought the tickets. I just went to look before I brought this up to you what tickets cost for those events. And if you want to sit up close, it was $70 a ticket,
Wow. How long was the show?
an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes. But at the end of the show, one woman, one of the violin players did the talking. So in between, she'd say, this song Freddie Mercury said was about this. And all right. Okay. So at the end, she goes, thank you so much. She goes,
Tips.
yeah.
Oh, my God. I was kidding.
No, she goes, we
Are
have
you
a tip.
serious?
We would appreciate any tips.
What's the $70 for?
I don't know. Per person, by the way.
Wow. Boy, the balls on some people.
Yeah. They had
So
a
what'd
tip
you do?
jar out front. I didn't tip. That's crazy. I paid a ticket for that. It's one thing if I went to dinner at this place
Yeah.
and these people were playing, then maybe I would go like, oh, it's beautiful. Let me throw a tip down there.
Right.
But
Like
I
if
paid for
if there's
this.
a guy playing a piano
Yes.
and has nothing to do with why you're there for dinner. And you know what? This guy was pretty good. I'm going to throw $10 in his
Right.
hat. Wow.
Yeah, it was really weird.
It's where we're at.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll ask you. So it was my son's birthday Friday. We went out to dinner with my parents. Went to a place called Nona's. It's like family style Italian on Route 9 in Marlboro. Place is great. Beautiful place. And you pull up, valet.
Oh,
Now, as it turned out, I was okay with it because the rain actually had stopped when we pulled in. I just want to pull in and park my car.
yes.
All right, now I got to.
And is the parking lot right there?
Yes.
Yes. No reason.
Now, as it turned out, when we got out, it was like a monsoon. I had no problem giving him the ticket and waiting for the car to come up. But like, it's another thing where you just not a huge deal. I'm not saying it is. It's all good. I gave the guy $5 to park it, $5 when they came back with it. It's $10, and the damn meal costs $400. So in the grand scheme of things, what does it matter? But it's just another one of these things like you don't expect when you go. There's no way in living hell that I would expect to be asked for a tip after spending $140 on 2 tickets to see a show like that.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
And we were looking at on StubHub when we were looking last week. No, Art Center website for the I forget what show maybe Counting Crows.
Counting Crows, yeah.
They were $78 and you get warm-up bands too. You're there all night.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very weird. Very strange.
I mean, is it possible that that restaurant can't be charging them or taking them in for nothing and collecting all the ticket money? Can they?
I don't think so. And there was another show at 8:00, so they're getting 2 different groups of people in there.
How many people would you say are in there watching it?
Yeah, it was hard to tell because I was actually sitting right in the front. So
But is it 10 or is it 100? Like, what would it be closer to?
I would say 120,
Oh, okay.
150.
It's a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
And you're saying 2 shows. I mean,
2
they're taking
shows.
in $10,000 a show. Yeah, yeah.
And there's 4 of them that even if they split it 4 ways, it's pretty nice.
So I guess the way I would figure it would be the restaurant's getting half, the band's getting half. That's what I would think.
Okay. So out of so the band got $70 for
Correct.
For a
2
couple.
shows, probably $20,000, split it 50% with the restaurant, which seems ridiculous, but okay. I would think for the restaurant, that's a draw,
Yeah.
personally. But okay, let's just say they split it both ways. That means every bandmate's getting $2,500. Last time I checked, that's pretty good for a night's work.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was
It's not
pretty good.
bad.
Yeah. And it was very good. I mean, it was really cool. The other thing it makes you, and I looked this up. It's called candlelight
Okay.
something or
This is
other.
in Long Branch.
Yeah, but this is actually like a national thing. Like if you go to the Candlelight Concerts website,
Right.
and then you could pick your venue or state, and it shows you what ones are upcoming. But they do all sorts of different bands. But it really shows you too, how intricate those Queen songs were. My gosh, that
Mhm.
Freddie Mercury, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody,
Yeah.
in and of itself is like 4 different songs in one.
Right, and to hear that done classically,
Yeah.
it seems really cool.
Yeah.
It was just really neat.
I can imagine.
So I would definitely go see that again,
It also
regardless.
it also shows me too, when you say, probably 120 people in the place, and I'm sure the 8 o'clock show might have been full,
Yeah,
if not had as many people. People are looking for things to do.
yeah. In fact, yeah, when we came out, the waiting area was packed.
Yeah.
for
So that
people
might
to
have been
go in.
even busier than the
I think
early
so.
show. So, it's a Friday night. People don't want to sit home. You're tired of just going to a restaurant. It's a different option. It's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it was cool, and then you felt like, first of all, it was seats. You didn't have to stand.
Right.
It was an hour and 10, 15 minutes. That was it. So you didn't feel like you were like, move it along.
Yeah.
Let's go. It was just, it was a solid experience.
Yeah. Is this a good time to tell you I booked Count Basie for us? Our first live podcast night?
I don't know how to play the violin, Jerry.
We're going to do Quiet Riot violin style.
Yeah. Right, we're gonna just rent some violins and see if we could do Quiet Riot. A
Or
night of Quiet
drums.
Riot. Yeah.
Either way.
We'll rent all sorts of instruments and we'll say, listen, we're gonna do Quiet Riot songs. We'll figure it out.
We'll just scream, come on and feel the noise.
Come on.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
funny.
So that was pretty cool. Then I saw an interesting story. I want you to tell me what you think it could possibly have been.
All right.
There was a story in Camden County, New Jersey. This happened on Wednesday at
Okay.
2:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So multiple cameras caught this. Cameras outside the business and cameras inside the business. It's a business where the guy repairs automobiles. Mechanic. At 2:30 a.m., something on fire crashed through his roof and made an explosion noise. You can see it from the outside. You see it from the inside. His ceiling's got a giant hole in it. Nothing was there, though.
Really?
The item, whatever crashed through,
It burned away.
I think it burned away. And yet, when it crashed through and it landed, it didn't start a fire. So it had to be like a piece of asteroid, right?
It very well could be, yeah.
What
I
else?
mean, we hear about those stories that small little asteroids sometimes fall to Earth and luckily don't hit people
Yeah.
or fall at times like that when there's no one there. Other than that, a laser, I don't know. I have no idea what that could be. I don't know. That sounds like a cartoon.
Yes.
That doesn't sound real.
Yeah, and it was cool because they had the camera on the inside. They had a camera at the outside of the shop, and then they talked to neighbors who also were woken up by the boom.
Yeah, sure. And this was where Camden County?
Camden County, New
Let's
Jersey.
see if I can see this.
I think if you to go, because I did Google
What
this
would you
before too.
Fireball?
I would just do Camden ceiling crash or something.
Okay. Ceiling crash.
See what comes up.
Let's see. It does come right up.
Wow.
CBS News covered it.
Nice.
Let's see if we can see
Yeah,
the
that was it. I
video.
believe it was the CBS News affiliate in Camden or out of Philadelphia that I saw this on.
Okay. Partial building collapse. So let's see here. Is this it? Partial building collapse in Camden County. A building in connection with West. No, I don't think this.
No, I don't think a building collapsed. It was just a big hole in the dude's ceiling. or
Yeah,
roof.
this was a roof collapse, I guess, somewhere. Yeah, I don't see it anymore. I don't know how to, but it was a car shop.
It was a car shop, automobile shop. What do you call it? Why do I keep saying automobile? It's a mechanic.
Yeah.
What if he did Camden?
Mystery object falls from the
Yes.
sky in New Jersey.
That's
Causes
it.
damage. This is Action News Philadelphia.
That was it. Action News.
That has it. There's the hole. Wow. Yeah, I don't see the video here yet. I'm sure because there's ads running, of course.
There's ads all
But I see the
jacked
hole
up.
in the roof that you're talking about. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it was just cool that there was nothing to be seen. It had to be. There's no other explanation than it came from an asteroid.
I would think so, yeah. I mean, other than that, so this was Friday, it was reported. And this was a town called Magnolia, New Jersey.
Yeah.
All right.
They did extensive coverage. They sent the news crew there.
Yeah. Like, you know what? If I owned, so a couple things. If I owned a store or a car shop or whatever it doesn't matter what the business is. And so like I have cameras at my house, and when there's activity, my phone goes off and it alerts me. I don't always look, but mostly I do. And if I don't look at the time, I will within 10 minutes or so. If my phone's buzzing in the middle of the night, I usually look. In this case, if I looked and saw that, well, yeah. I mean, I'd be panicked. 100%.
Now I could think like maybe something fell from an airplane, but the fact that there was no object there in the shop,
Yeah.
is really strange. And the fact that it didn't start a fire in that guy's shop.
No. Boy, yeah, I see it. Look at this. That is pretty bizarre.
Yeah, very bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know. Huh. And there's the people that they're talking about. Wow. I mean, you talk about damage too that it did.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know.
And the guy just went right back to work the next day.
Oh,
Says,
what do you
he's
do?
got a hole in his roof. He's got
Start
to
picking
fix.
up the pieces. You got customers to deal with.
Right. Got customers.
Like that's the funny thing about, not funny. That's the interesting thing about when things like this happen. If your car's there being fixed, you're like, damn, that sucks. Are you gonna fix my car? Like, I need my car back.
Right.
My life goes on.
Yeah, I know an asteroid just hit your shop.
Yeah, that's a you problem. But yeah, that's bizarre. And I wonder, like, most places have insurance. Do they have insurance for this?
Right, for something just falling out of the sky
I don't know.
and making a huge boom.
Because when it comes to paying the insurance, claims, usually there's an investigation and they got to figure out what's going on. I could see some insurance adjuster, especially if it's not a big company, being like, "Yeah, we don't insure for asteroids. Sorry."
Right, asteroids is not one of our things. Yeah.
Would you be shocked? I wouldn't.
No.
I would
But I
not.
was just thinking, like, what if it caught that guy's whole place on fire? And let's say he didn't have a camera in there.
Yeah.
He goes to go to work and his shop's on fire. He would have thought
arson
or what something.
Looking for
not
an
that
insurance claim.
asteroid fell through and caught his
But
place
no one
on
would believe
fire.
that. Right. Everything. Yeah. Okay. You set fire to your own place, didn't you? Sure. Yeah. An asteroid. Sure. It's true.
And how did we not know an asteroid was coming if it was that impactful hitting that dude's place?
If that's what it was, I don't know. I
can't imagine what else it could be.
Neither could I. I don't know. I have no idea. Unless it was the aliens trying to make a claim to Magnolia, New Jersey, because it's a big place in the world.
I would even think if it was an asteroid that the charred remains would be there.
And there's
like
nothing.
like a rock that looked
It's
like
almost like it was
coal.
a dust fireball.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wonder if it could have been some sort of ball lightning.
Maybe.
I kind of feel like I've heard that term before, ball lightning.
It's possible.
So maybe it was like,
no, we had terrible weather.
Yeah.
I mean, the weather was pretty crappy on Friday, Saturday. So I guess that's possible. Or even into Friday on Thursday night.
Well, this happened Wednesday or Thursday morning, 2:30 a.m.
Thursday morning. All right. I don't remember the weather. All I remember is it sucked last week.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it sucked every day.
Yeah. The entire week was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't know. Did you see the CIA releasing the report from the Soviet Union from 1951 that claims during the Cold War that a UFO landed in Russia, and when they went out to greet them or greet it, the aliens turned them to stone and then zipped away?
I did not see this.
How did you not see this?
I don't know.
All you say is you get nothing but Trump stuff, aliens, and girls with big boobs on your timeline.
Yeah.
How did you not see that?
I don't know.
That came up. That was. I don't get any of this stuff, but that came along on the For You part.
Why does UFO Twitter not want me to see this?
I don't know. Maybe they feel like you're oversaturated with it, or maybe you get so much of it, maybe you just didn't notice it. For me, it stood out.
So they said that, and then what happened? So this was in like a memo, an actual like some sort of government memo from
I'm gonna
Russia?
pull it up right now. I'm gonna Google CIA, Soviet Union,
UFO
stone. And here's the story. CIA file about aliens attacking Soviet forces goes viral. So I don't know if this is true or not, if this is made up, but this is a claim. A declassified CIA report about an alleged UFO attack on Soviet soldiers in the dying days of the USSR has gone viral after being posted to the agency's website. The document is a single-page summary of newspaper articles from Canadian Weekly World News and the Ukrainian newspaper, whatever, dating back to March 1993, which describes a hostile encounter between the Russian army and a flying saucer that is said to have taken place. Oh, I thought it was 1951. I'm sorry. 1989 or 1990. The story headlined Cosmic Revenge in the Ukraine source and said to derive from an extensive 250-page KGB file, complete with witness testimony and documentary photographs, recounts how 25 Soviet troops were participating in training drills when a low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer passed over their base in Siberia. The sighting prompted the men to react for unknown reasons by launching a surface-to-air missile at the craft, which they successfully brought down. Okay, fine.
They brought down
That's what they're claiming.
A UFO
in this article. Yes, a spherical shape then emitted a sinister buzzing sound. The sphere then burst in an explosion of brilliant white light, leaving 23 of the men turned into stone poles, while the remaining 2 shielded themselves from the blast by virtue of being stood in the shade, and they escaped unharmed.
Stone poles?
The bodies of the victims were reportedly recovered by the Red Army and taken to a secret research lab outside Moscow, where it was discovered their molecular structure was now identical to that of limestone.
Damn.
What do you think?
I don't know. That sounds a little ridiculous. It's funny. I would have believed it more if it was 1953, because I feel like in the late 80s that we would have had more potential photographs of
You
this.
would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
Listen, I'm all about these stories. I'll be very happy to look that up when I get home later
I just gave
on,
you something to do today.
if I find the time somewhere, Jerry.
Yeah, anywhere between noon and 8.
Noon and 8, I could probably find some time in there.
Yeah.
I did watch this a new Netflix docu-series called Bad Influence.
Okay.
And it was about this group of kid influencers and how wacky the mother is who put her kid into becoming like a social media influencer.
Right.
And was very successful at it. And then got other kids that she called the squad that also, and she was like running this like social media empire.
Like a pyramid almost?
No, I mean,
she was just in charge of it.
She was just in charge of it, but she was like really putting her child and others in harm's way of like creeps, because these kids were like 9, 10, 11. And then she was having them like,
and they were making money.
They were making tons of money, up to $500,000 a month on YouTube.
I don't understand. I honestly, I don't understand. Okay, so continue.
Well, one of the guys on there said that in order to go viral, that what these places and what this woman was doing is she would buy her first 50,000 views. And then when you buy your first 50,000 views, people see, oh, this video has 50,000 views. Let me see what it is.
So you fraudulently put a number and a claim.
Yes.
To help make it popular.
Yes.
Well, why don't we buy 50,000 views for this thing?
Know.
How much does that cost?
Not sure.
That's interesting.
Gonna ask how much 50,000 views cost? That'd be awesome, Jerry.
I'm putting how much to buy views on YouTube.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible.
But anyway, this mother was a complete creeper. But it was interesting to watch because, when you're an influencer, and I guess this is whether you're a kid influencer or a regular influencer, you have to like be pumping out content every single day.
It's a real job.
Yeah.
It's a real job. And it's a job that might not have any payoff at the end.
Yeah.
Which is.
So it's a good watch if you're into that sort of thing.
By the way, the first thing that comes up, there are third parties that sell views cheap. 100 views, 98 cents. 1,000 views, $6.
All right, so 6 times 5, $30. We can get 50,000 views.
5,000 views, $20. So for $100, you can. But here's the best part: YouTube prohibits artificially inflating view counts, and buying views will result in penalties, including account suspension or termination. So this is what I don't get about YouTube. They will flag certain things that make very little sense to me, and they're not hurting anybody. Something like this is fraudulent. And yet it probably goes on every day.
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
Man, okay. All right, whatever.
Yeah, it's an interesting watch. It's weird what parents will put their kids through for their own financial gain.
Sure.
Very strange.
Are the kids getting any of the money?
Hard to say, I guess, because they're little kids, so they were yeah. And how about this? This is a wild accusation that came of this. That the mother, the main mother who runs this thing, she would send her child's underwear to grown men that wanted to buy it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that the mother was selling the kids' underwear.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is a mother.
Put her in jail.
Yeah,
God.
exactly, and she's not in jail. It was a wild, I'm telling you, Jerry, it was a wild 3-part series.
I know I've talked to a couple of high school administrators.
Yeah.
And the most popular career choice from a lot of kids in high school is they want to be YouTubers.
Yeah.
And I get it. It can be amazing. But man, if you don't hit it, you are just wasting time.
Yes.
You're wasting a lot of time.
Like us.
And there's yes, I agree. There are there's two things though. Like, so I've created a couple of golf videos, nothing crazy. And my one son's like, he goes like, why are you doing that? You trying to get rich? I'm like, no. I'm like, I actually think it's fun. To be honest, if something comes along with it, that's great. But I don't put them out every day or every week. It's like whenever I think of something, once every 3 months, it's not going anywhere. It's fun. That's one thing. When you start pumping out content every day, Alan Jerry's postgame podcast, you are trying to become something relevant on that platform that generates real revenue. Boy, if you don't get there, I mean, you are literally wasting weeks and months, and the amount of hours I can't even begin to comprehend.
Yeah, and then people that do get there, sometimes along the line, YouTube changes their algorithms, and
then you're not where you were.
Dead.
Yeah, you could be.
It's weird.
And people get bored of you too.
Yes.
Like I even like the Bob Does Sports stuff, which my son still likes. I've kind of had it.
I agree.
I think what they do is great, but it's not what they were. And what they're doing is they're adapting, I think, as they go. There's so many other ones now, and they started it, I guess. They might have been the first ones. I don't know. But like I see them come up, I'm like, I mean, I say, all right, they're doing another challenge, another alcohol. Yeah. So like for me, I still like them and I'll still watch them from time to time, but it's not like it's appointment watching anymore.
Yeah.
I
was following the one main guy, Bob, I guess.
Yeah, Bob Burger.
Yeah, I was following his Instagram,
mm-hmm.
and I thought it was the greatest thing when I first started.
Yeah.
But I get bored with something immediately. Like the first time I saw him, he was breaking down the bagel sandwich he got from this place.
Right.
And how he was telling the owners he had to step up and blah, blah. I thought that was great. Then like a day later, he's like at another bagel place. I was like, oh, okay. Then the next day it was like another sandwich. I was like, I've had
it's
enough.
The same thing. Yeah.
Had enough.
Yeah. I hear you.
I get bored so quickly with that stuff.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, again, attention span by society. I mean, that's all of us now, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
That I don't think you might be a little quicker than most, but I don't think that's anything unusual,
Yeah. And then there are other things like I watch some of the same money people. Like I still watch Dave Ramsey nonstop.
Oh, I quit on him a long time ago.
And he's running the same old
It's
bits.
Also, he's not, I can't watch Dave Ramsey to give me financial advice, but if you live in Missouri, sorry, not interested. None of what he says applies to where we live.
It's tough.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. So I used to listen to him on the radio every day. And then I started realizing when he would talk about, you know what you're going to do? I remember it was like this woman called in and she was broke. And he's like, all right, what you're going to do is you're going to go buy a car. You're going to pay cash, $12,000. We're not getting a $50,000 car. And he goes, and then you don't have to worry about the payment anymore. And I remember she's like, but I don't have $12,000. And well, you can finance it, but then I have a car payment. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's tough. If you either have money or you don't have money.
Yeah.
Learning to invest is different, but it depends on where you live.
It does.
Yeah, but you can buy a house for $250,000. You'd be fine. 4 bedrooms. Where? Not here.
And he always says that a 15-year mortgage, not 30.
Great. Who can afford that?
That I don't know.
Right. I mean, his advice is fine. It's just not it's not real. Like, it's not practical for much of society.
I think he has good advice for people that need to get out of debt. I think once you're out of debt,
But
it's a hard.
what is the
It's
advice,
harder.
honestly? I mean, if you don't know, and I've dealt with debt too at times for sure. If if you don't know to pay them off, like what I would love to know what the magic potion is for, like, if you have $5,000 of spendable money every month, and all your payments, and I mean your utilities, your mortgage, your car payment, groceries, all of that stuff totals, I don't know, $4,600 a month. You got $400 left over. What? You're supposed to give 3 grand to a credit card bill that you don't have 3 grand to put towards it? Like, you know what to do. The problem is people don't make enough to do it. That's why they get into the debt in the first place. I always like the snowball effect.
Snowball. Yep. You got a snowball, Jerry.
You know what needs to come with the snowball effect? Patience. Because that takes a long time.
You pay your lowest, smallest debt first.
Right.
You snowball right into the next smallest debt.
But what they don't tell you is that takes a really long
does.
time. Because if you've got a credit card balance of 2,000 here, 4,000, and let's say 10,000. All right, let's pay the 2,000 one off first. You probably don't have enough money to pay anything off, which is why you're going to start giving a little more. It's going to take you 3 years to pay off the 2 grand. Meantime, the other two have done nothing.
I like when the people call in the success stories and they'll go, Dave, me and my husband paid off $300,000 in debt in 2 years. That's great. What do you do for a living? I'm a teacher. I make $43,000. What?
Al, I don't.
We just stopped eating out and getting coffee out.
I'm sorry.
And we put all that money.
We stopped going to Starbucks.
Yeah, we stopped going to Starbucks.
Stop. So everything is just so off. So funny.
All right, Jerry, let's do the warm-up program. We did that. You and I did that together. It's a
did.
normal week this week. You are in.
I'm in
your
every day
normal
but Wednesday.
You're out Wednesday?
No, I'm in.
Oh.
It's the second time I did that, and you went for it.
I get caught. So normal week for everyone around here. We'll see you tomorrow on the warm-up show. See ya!